that I really want to ask Ajay Makan is the real reason behind Rahul Gandhi's refusal to don the Prime Ministerial candidate mantle from the Congress party. Is the Constitution the real reason behind this, or is the Congress trying to insulate Rahul Gandhi from a possible loss in 2014, given the fact that the party is facing an uphill task, facing 10 years of anti-incumbency of the UPA government? Mr. Makan, there's also the issue of women. He said half the population of this country is women. Now, 33% reservation for women, the Women's Reservation Bill is something that's been close to Sonia Gandhi's heart. You could bring in, Rahul Gandhi could bring in change into his party by giving 33% tickets to women candidates. He hasn't done that. That would have been a powerful idea. You're talking about 15%, which is 15 seats, which is less than 3% of the Lok Sabha seats, as the powerful idea. It's a minuscule idea. This could be a powerful idea. Why is he not implementing something like this?
I'm so happy that you've asked this. Rahul Gandhi ji, before January last year, was General Secretary in charge of frontal organization, thereby meaning the Youth Congress, NSY and other frontal organizations. In Youth Congress, I would like to tell you, as I have said earlier, that in total we've got 79.40 lakh members of the Youth Congress, out of which we have 5,04,000 office bearers. 25% of this are women office bearers. And there is mandatory, it is mandatory that out of 10 total elected office bearers at every level, there is mandatory for reservation of 5 people, out of which 40% have to be reserved for women.
Mr. Makan, when is Rahul Gandhi coming to the big stage? The small stage is fine. He's done that. He's made a difference, if you say so. But when is he going to make the change on the big stage, national stage?
Listen, I'm very happy that you've asked this. When a person is General Secretary in charge of frontal organization, Youth Congress, he'll do it, implement it in the Youth Congress, no? And when he is given charge of leading the entire country, the Congress party's campaign, he'll do it for the Congress party. He was announced as a person to lead Congress into 2014 elections just 2 days back. And you are asking him in 24 hours to do...
no, he became the Vice President last year. It's 365 days today to the date.
We have a president who is herself a lady, a woman. And this is the Congress party. And for the first time we had President, Speaker and the President of Congress party, all 3 women. So you can't question this to the Congress party, which already has 33% reservation.
But you haven't implemented. The point I'm making, you haven't implemented in your party. These are the big ideas that he could have brought to the table. But I'll take you to another question.
No, let me first answer this fully. Look, party doesn't grow from the top. The party grows from the bottom. So from Youth Congress, NSY, the party grows, and the cadre grows from Youth Congress, NSY, and they come up to the highest level. So unless he would have done at the Youth Congress, NSY level, it would have been just impossible to do at the highest level. So what he has started is, he has started from the NSY, Youth Congress level, then these leaders gradually go up the ladder and up to the senior Congress, and that is what he has started.
Okay, Mr. Makan, I'll take you up on that sentence, that the party grows from the bottom. The party grows from the bottom, and yesterday what was on display was that when the bottom asks for something, nothing happens, but when the top asks for something, it happens in minutes, which is the LPG cylinders, and that is pure populism. If yesterday's speech was talking about rejuvenating a cadre, it was also playing the populist card yesterday. Let me ask you the question. Don't get all hassled before I ask you the question.
I'm happy that you are asking.
See, members of parliament led by Sanjay Nirupam last week went and met Petroleum Minister Veerappa Moily. They have been asking this for last 1 year because the rollback from 6 to 9 cylinders happened in January of 2013. For 1 year, several MPs have been asking the Congress party to roll back the LPG cylinder cut, the subsidized LPG cylinder cut, to the level of 12 cylinders. It didn't happen when the MPs asked. But when Rahul Gandhi announced it from the stage yesterday, within minutes we had the petroleum minister saying, we are doing it, it's going to the cabinet. Now 3 cylinders.
Achha, let me tell you, it is not that he announced. He requested the Prime Minister and he echoed the views of Congress, ordinary Congress people, ordinary women folk of the country. He echoed the voice before the Prime Minister and...
the MPs had been doing it, so you don't listen to your MPs?
No, it is not like this. It is MPs, they make their populist demands, but when it comes to the AICC session wherein Rahul ji raised this issue, this was something which would have made them clear, categorically clear, that this is something which people generally they want, and that is what they have done it. So we should be very happy.
Is it the Aam Aadmi Party effect?
No,
they are giving 700 liters of free water, 50% cut in electricity bills. Are you forced by that?
On your television channels, you have been so critical of Congress Party, all the channels, day in and day out, why 9 cylinders, why 9 cylinders, and now when Rahul ji asked and when Rahul ji requested the leadership of the government to do it, they have done. We all should be very
because he's also been saying that think long term. Now is bringing people back to the level of 12 cylinders where they started life last year, bringing them back to the same point, really justified enough in terms of a freebie to the people?
Please be a bit kind to us. You criticize us when we bring it down to 9. You criticize us when we bring it back to 12. Please don't be always critical.
Okay, we won't be always critical, but yesterday Rahul Gandhi was critical of Narendra Modi. It's probably the first time he's made a direct attack at Narendra Modi by saying, referring to the Congress Mukt Bharat the phrase that Narendra Modi has been using, but he still didn't name him. Do you think in the run-up to 2014, we're going to see a lot more direct attack from Rahul Gandhi to Narendra Modi, his principal opponent in the electoral space for 2014?
Well, I don't know what in future is in store as far as what Rahul ji will say. This is something which the time will tell. But I can just tell you one thing, that the Congress Party doesn't believe in personal attack, and anyone doing personal attack, we do not support that view of any person attacking personally.
Not even when Mani Shankar Iyer calls Modi a tea seller, a tea vendor?
I strongly denounce what Mani Shankar Iyer said. I very strongly feel, the Congress Party very strongly feels that he shouldn't have said what he said yesterday about Mr. Narendra Modi. Congress Party doesn't believe in such things the way Mr. Mani Shankar Iyer said yesterday.
Do you believe that the next elections are going to be Rahul Gandhi versus Narendra Modi, or is there a third angle, which is the Aam Aadmi Party, Arvind Kejriwal angle?
Well, let us see how things unfold. But as far as the Congress Party is concerned, we are going ahead with our own positive agenda, with our own agenda of the good governance of UPA 1 and 2, with Rahul ji taking up reins of the Congress Party, with Rahul ji categorically saying that 3 anti-corruption and transparency bills have been passed, 6 more should be passed, his stand against corruption, and inclusive growth policy of the Congress Party. These are the things which we are going to take up with the people, go in with our own positive agenda to the people. We don't care about the other parties.
Well, the Congress Party, you say, is determined to fight corruption. 6 bills coming in the last session of the 10-year rule of the UPA government, and you say you are very, very serious about fighting corruption. Why should people believe you?
It's a very good question that you've asked. These bills which are pending, which we want to clear it in the last session, is not something which has been brought in just now. These bills have been pending in the parliament since many years, and many times in parliament, both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, the opposition has not let us function. The 3 bills also which we have passed, 9 of these bills in the history of Indian parliamentary democracy, never so many bills have been passed in our parliament. BJP NDA also had got an opportunity for 6 years. They couldn't come up with a single legislation to fight corruption. We have come up, 3 have been passed, 6 are in the pipeline. So I think this is an impressive track record.
We will wait to see whether the bills will help you win elections of 2014, or whether it's the direct fight between Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi, the personality clash, which is going to catch people's imagination. As Markan tried to decode Rahul Gandhi version 2.0 for us after yesterday's AICC session, we tried to ask questions on the other big challenge for the Congress Party, the Aam Aadmi Party. You are a member of parliament from Delhi, and Delhi is the city-state which has seen the Congress getting the biggest drubbing in the recent elections. Do you think the Aam Aadmi Party is likely to have a larger impact in urban centres across the country, at least across North India, in states like Haryana? How do you see this entire phenomenon of the Aam Aadmi Party?
Well, if you talk about Aam Aadmi Party, I think Rahul ji yesterday very aptly said about some political parties who have opened up a hair cutting saloon for people without any hair. So these are the people who have been successfully able to sell a dream to people of Delhi.
But in that dream, they brought the Congress down to 8
But let me
MLAs.
finish. That's why we supported their manifesto. We thought that
Isn't that suicidal?
No, we thought that look, we should be giving them a chance to
Only to keep the BJP out.
No, not to keep BJP out, because we want people to know if they can fulfill the dream, and also to us to know whether they can do it or not, because we have been in
So it's
power.
an experimentation
Not experiment,
stage.
because we know it very well. We have been in power since last 15 years. And we know it very well that what was promised in their manifesto is something which is impossible to implement. As far as their charges of corruption or graft are concerned, in this era of right to information, all the files they are out in the open. And we had a hostile CAG who had, so there is nothing to hide for
And what do you
from
think
the
of
people.
Arvind Kejriwal threatening to do a demonstration and a dharna outside the Home Minister's office?
These kind of theatrics are good as NGO, are good as an opposition party leader, but as a chief minister you are expected to deliver, not to do dharnas. So we have supported their manifesto. We want them to perform on the basis of their manifesto. And
how long is this support going to carry on?
Well, as our PCC president of Delhi has said, as long as he keeps on fulfilling the manifesto, we are supporting him. But we don't see it going through.
Is the Congress giving the Aam Aadmi Party a long rope? Is this experiment of the Congress Party an experiment? Because in the run-up to 2014, the Congress almost seems to have given up the fight, and this is the phase to experiment. Those are the questions that we will be looking at this week on Real Politics. Ajay Makan, next week we'll get you more about the real politics behind the scenes.